I'm Lisa Schrader, and I'm the founder of Awakening Shakti. And I want to warmly welcome you to Being a Resourced Woman. This is an online oasis that I've created that is dedicated to supporting you to adore your body and replenish your heart and satiate that feminine soul of yours. I'm just so looking forward to spending the next few moments with you for today's session, which is about adoring our body. So I'd like to begin with a resource meditation that really connects us to the body and to, in our tree of life, we might think of the body as our root system, the part of us that is really deeply in the dark, fertile energy of the earth. And one of the most primary resources that we have, of course, is our breath. So as we come together and drop in together, let's take some big breaths to arrive here, and we're going to breathe as though we're breathing up through our root system and into the body. So take a big deep breath. Feel the energy coming up the root system into your body, and then exhaling, sending that energy back down through your roots and into the earth. A few more deep breaths in your own rhythm. And exhaling. Just continuing to nourish yourself and the earth of you as a woman with this grounding breath. And as you exhale, you can even, I like to imagine that I'm sending the energy down to the earth. And as you deepen this breath, just notice I can feel my whole body beginning to relax and almost even feel a mild state of euphoria, just simply by remembering my connection to the earth as one of my primary resources and breathing with her through these deep breaths. See if you can breathe and expand a little bit of your capacity and also the length of time that you inhale and you exhale. Beautiful. So in the Resourced Woman appraisal that you hopefully had a chance to take a look at, and if you didn't, you can check for that in your email, or you can also check on our Resourced Woman page. You'll find it as a download there. As we think about the body, and when we think about this archetype of being the lover, of course we cannot be a lover to ourself or other without really connecting to our senses and taking care of this body temple that we are living in as a spirit that we have been given. And so on the appraisal, some of the resources that you might have circled that really connect you to this resource of your body as a woman would be things like how you're caring for the body. Things like, are you getting enough rest? Are you able to find a sense of peace inside, a sense of deep relaxation? These are all body resources, certainly anything connected to our health and our well-being and our energy system in our feminine body, right? Our sense of vitality, our feeling of passion, of our desires, And of course, our sensuality, our capacity to encounter and take in beauty, right? What we smell, what we feel on our skin, what we're tasting, what we're hearing. Even silence might be a resource of the body that we're very much longing for. And of course, inside of our body, our sacred connection to our creative life force energy, our sexuality, our erotic energy. These are all resources for us. Pleasure. In the world that we're living in right now, we have gotten very disconnected from the earth herself, but the earth of our own body. And our capacity to come back to nourishing this body with pleasure, with our sensuality and our sexuality. These are all very important resources that we may have forgotten about. The degree to which we can really give ourselves, and again, it might not look like a lot of time, but even just weaving into your day some attention to what Mary Oliver speaks to in her beautiful poem, Wild Geese, when she says that letting the soft animal body of you love what it loves. Let the soft animal body of you love what it loves. The truth is, sisters, that oftentimes we take better care of our beloved pets than we even do the soft animal body of ourselves. So really inviting you in this next couple of days, as you're looking at this resource of the body, to really ask yourself that question: what does the soft animal of me love? What is it needing? Is it needing more stillness or quiet? Is it needing more nourishment, or a different kind of nourishment maybe than you've been giving the body? How can you connect with the earth of you? How can you allow yourself the pleasure of feeling more connected to your own senses? Because this feminine body really absolutely needs this connection to pleasure. And we've gotten very cross-wired on that for the most part. We think of pleasure as a slippery slope that's going to lead us down a path that is sinful, or we won't end up being disciplined, we won't get things done. That's somehow working really hard and producing in what I think of as this hyper masculine way that we've been taught to succeed is somehow more important than this taking good care of the resource of our body, which in our feminine body requires things like beauty and pleasure and nourishment of our senses to combat the levels of stress and cortisol and hopelessness and anxiety and fear that so many of us are being bombarded with on a daily basis in the current culture. So I am here in this moment as your Shakti coach to ask you to make a couple of commitments in the next few days and during this online oasis to prioritize this connection to your own body, And one really good place to begin to look is the degree to which we are criticizing the body. Going back to the soft animal, imagine if you were constantly yelling at your beloved cat and telling your beloved cat that it was being lazy for just laying around, or why was it drinking so much water, or why is it eating all the time, right? When it might be that in our own body we're doing something similar when we're saying you're too much, you're too fat, you're too lazy, you're too whatever those criticisms are. These are damaging, right? These erode our health and our vitality as women. So if you notice the mind moving into those habitual criticisms and judgments, and I know this is difficult, first of all, I just want to tell you that you are not alone in this. I think it is next to impossible for us as women in the culture not to have adopted this lack mentality that is just so pervasive, particularly when it comes to our body. You know, that we're not fit enough, we're not young enough, we're not sexy enough, our boobs aren't big enough, or we're not curvy enough, or we're too curvy, or our boobs are too big, or our ass is too big, or our hair's not right, or we're too wrinkled, right? All of those things. So as you notice that you might be moving into that habit of self-judgment, bring some compassion to the noticing of that, and see if you can go back to a practice that I want to give you right now, which is to, instead of be judging the body from the outside, thinking about the body, you know, looking in the mirror and saying, right? Instead, to practice feeling your body from the inside. Letting this soft animal of you encounter with her senses. What does it feel like to place my feet on this earth? You know, maybe feel my hands in the water as I'm doing the dishes. What helps enliven my body and bring it the joy of pleasure from the inside? We are absolutely all trained from a very, very early age to judge the body from the outside. And instead, I want to just invite you, that's just going to keep on happening. We can keep adjusting that. We can keep having compassion for it. But as it occurs for you, see if you can even just close your eyes for a moment and feel. Maybe your body wants to move. Maybe it just wants to take this moment, like my body clearly wants to just undulate or move in a certain way. And look, that was only just a few seconds of movement, and suddenly I feel more alive. I feel more rooted. I feel more adoring of this body, that it can do that. Right? In that moment, I'm not thinking about, you know, what do I look like on this video, and, you know, this extra 20 pounds I've put on my body, you know, and all of those ways that I too, sister, struggle with the judging from the outside. In this moment, this spontaneous moment with you of moving this body, she is perfectly, imperfectly divine. So look at your resource list and scan it with an eye to how many of these resources, either your top 10 or maybe your 3. And again, these resources that we're speaking about, they're not, just related to the body. They're going to be related in many different categories. Next time we're going to talk about the heart, and then we'll be talking about the soul. But look with an eye towards the resources that might be really either ones you have a lot of access to. I have a lot of access to movement in my body already, and so that's something I like to celebrate. It brings me joy. Or resources that you really want to, invest a little bit of energy into, call in, bring forward a little bit more. For me right now, that's more stillness and space and rest. That's a resource that my body is longing for, which I normally have a great deal of in my life. But in this moment of fullness, bringing this program to you, there's been less of that. I've been enjoying working and creating, but it's been, a lot. There's the part of my soft animal body that's saying, oh, we just need a little bit more quiet. A time where we don't have to produce or even be anywhere. And so really ask yourself that. Look at your list and see, where are you at with adoring your body, loving your body, and working with the earth element. Another practice for you to really deepen into this material that I'm offering you is to really see in the next few days how much you can connect with earth. Maybe that's about getting in nature, or even just getting your feet on the earth or leaning up against a tree in a park. But really feeling the earth of you and your connection to Mother Earth. And to close our session today, I'd like to read you just a beautiful passage from the ancient tantric yoga teachings. These are also called the Radiant Sutras. And this one in particular is translated for us by Lauren Roche. Here it is, so just let this wash over you. Eating dark chocolate, a ripe apricot, your favorite treat. Savor the expanding joy in your body. Nature is offering herself to you. Nature is offering herself to you. How astonishing to realize this world can taste so good. When sipping some ambrosia, raise your glass, close your eyes, toast the universe, the sun and the moon and the earth danced together to bring you this delight. Receive the nectar on your tongue, a kiss of the divine. Your resourced goodness gift that I have for you to go with this session on adoring your body is indeed my very secret and somewhat famous recipe for the chocolate that I like to make, and I like to call them Lisa's Cacao Bliss Bites, full of superfood goodness for your body, aphrodisiac herbs to awaken your sensuality and your pleasure. And I'm giving you that recipe so that you can explore that. I made a little batch last night, and here's what they look like when I create them. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for being with me in this session from Being a Resourced Woman, where we've been exploring what it means to access the resource that is available to us of adoring our body. Many blessings.